Hi guys, so what I'm highlighting here for you in this rugby video, which I'm going to make now, is an area where I feel like Ireland have been very weak, and that is with their clearances in our own 22. And I'm going to highlight a game here perfectly that shows that where you need to get the ball off the field, not doing that means that you give the opposition a great chance to run the ball back. And I just want to also highlight that the commentators in this game, English commentators, because this is ITV coverage, and they're all saying that England have been unconvincing, that they haven't been great. Ireland are formidable, looking to make it another tournament in a row, looking to go back to back Grand Slams again. Um, well, more so, like it would have been the first time where I think a team has won back to back Grand Slams, and that was an opportunity for us to make history, and we didn't do it in this game. This was a game where we should have won, and we didn't because we just didn't show up. I'm going to highlight it for you here. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Just show you how we hand England all the initiative here in this game. See it there. Full screen. And I know it's slow. It's always slow, but I'm going to freeze it anyway, and I'm going to show you. So watch England here. Right? Just look how good their clearance is versus ours. Goes to Alex Mitchell, and he just boots it straight off the field. Right-footed, kicking it out on the left-hand touchline. Ball gets kicked here. Alex Mitchell takes it. The England scrum half wastes no time, gets it off the field, line out. Now, as we fast forward here, we'll see that Ireland get a penalty. We take it, we're 3 points up, and look at the time on the clock, right? So it's only just started. We've got the penalty. Jack Crowley nails it. We're in the lead after a good piece of attack, a quick pick through the middle by Josh van der Fleer, pops it up the Tyke Furlong. We get a penalty for England being offside, which they constantly are because they have that hard press in defence. So they're flying out off the line, trying to make a big hit. Now watch how we deal with it. I also want to highlight how England kick. So Crowley obviously kicked very deep, giving Alex Mitchell a chance to clear that. This kick hangs from George Ford for a long while. And then Bundee takes it, but he's already hit. So the line speed is much better from England as well. Not good enough from Ireland to match the kick. As they say, a kick's only as good as its chase, but Alex Mitchell had lots of time to make his mind up and clear that. Let's have a look at this one. The Faye Wabosa is fast, so they always say we don't have the athlete or whatever. But we need to start getting them. It's not good enough. And then Ollie Chesham hits him, so the pressure was on there. You probably get pinged for that now with all the crossing rules. But look, as this goes on, as we set up to clear, James Lowe again, not clearing the ball and getting it off the park, and this is what happens. So we set up a ruck here, not the linesman's arse. Ty Burns going to carry it up to give a better angle for the kick, which I understand completely. Get a right footer though. Jack Crowley has a good right boot on him. Why is he not stepping in and clearing that? I would either say Gibson-Park box kick or Jack Crowley with the right foot. James Lowe, they keep saying how much of a big boot he has, but you need to get the ball off the field, which he does now. He did it in this Six Nations, in fairness, but this is an area of real weakness for Ireland, and I'll show you now. We carry, don't make any yards. We're now, look at that as well. There's absolutely no angle to work with. So either he's going to kick it out here, not even clear to 22 because England are applying all that pressure, or the ball has to stay infield, and the latter is what happens. Very poor chase as well, I have to say. Now you've got a good back three with England, in fairness. bigger and more physical than Ireland. And as a result of this, Calvin Nash gets knocked the fuck out, and we also concede a try. You look at this, George Fairbank running at pace onto this. We've no space covered over on the right hand side. Or what I mean is, we're leaving loads of space here that we haven't covered. And look at how disjointed we are. Look at that massive gap. Now Fairbank's going to put them back onside, and they're going to just attack down our right hand wing. Calvin Nash gets knocked out because Tommy Freeman wins the physical collision, which is the story of our life, really. Ireland are losing physical battles left, right, and Chelsea. You know, it's not good enough. Our physicality isn't nearly good enough, and this is too easy, way too easy. So look at that. Look how many players now. So let's count. So that's roughly, yeah, that's kind of inside our own goalpost. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players. And I don't know where the rest of them are, but they're all within that goalpost. You've got England backs running onto that at pace, attacking. And that means that Nash has to gamble and come in. You know, so he's already panicking because he has to sprint in and cover that space. They have 5 players here that are all waiting to exploit an overlap. Let's just go back to that for a sec. So I'll just show you here how we set up from it. Let's even have a look at that. So we'll have a look at the start. So you see we all bunch over to this side to begin with. England are nicely spread. So let's look at how it goes on. One carry from Bundee. There's enough men there to deal with it. Like, look how many players here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All bunched in together, not contributing anything. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have another ruck here. These lads need to space out more. You know, we're way too bunched. Right, so 4 lads there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we've 4 men in this ruck. Yeah, so about 11 men. I'm just going to play it on. Yeah, it's already blurred a little bit there. But look how bunched we are. Like, everyone's over near the left-hand touchline. So what are we doing? We need to space out. We need to actually fill the pitch. We haven't done that nearly well enough. And again, we've got loads of lads coming over. Look at that setup. Aki's out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Don't know where everybody else is. I don't know where they're hiding, but it's far too many. And look at that gap in there from Nash to his nearest man. Where is everybody? I feel like we're missing a few. Just go back there now. Yeah, look at them. They're all there. Whereas England are running onto it momentum. Where are all our players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And look, loses that collision. He has all the momentum, but Nash has to gamble. See? He has to sprint in there to try and close the space because we're outnumbered, you know? So we kick. That's just a simple run back, you know, like he's carrying the ball back, throws it here to Freeman, and Freeman just wins the one-up collision. Look at this now. So that means because they've got an overlap, Nash has to gamble and jab in on Freeman, and as a result, boom, gob, knocked out. Lost that collision, and now Frawley came on, had to go in and play wing rather than going fullback. I don't know why they didn't just put Hugo Caelan on the wing where he has played and then put Frawley at fullback, but I don't know. But look, he might have gotten hit hard there. We've still got a chance. Realign. There's not enough people realigning. But they'd gone quick, and actually, if Nash hadn't jammed in, they could have just thrown it out wide. But even still, we don't take the hint, and we're still too slow to realign. Gibson-Park, in fairness, is there. Doris is held into that ruck. We're far too slow to get out. They still have that overlap. Like, we haven't dealt with that well at all. And all these players are in a line now, but too slow to respond. Quick hands will do it. Missed tackle in the corner. Terrible defence. And look at the scoreboard. Like, giving them easy tries early on. Like, that's just terrible. It's so simple. Like a one-up carry from George Fairbank. He passes it across to Tommy Freeman, who absolutely annihilates Calvin Nash. Then one ruck, and then the ball goes out wide, and we're undone. It's so easy to get the better of Ireland. That's not complicated play at all. Let's roll on. Let's see here now. Look at all that vacated space. Even here, we're too slow to shuffle across, so just get it to about here. We need to start coming across. These two lads need to make more of an effort of getting across. Gibson-Park comes across, but the rest of them are far too slow to react. If Doris shifts across, it's a simple 3-on-3. You know, I feel like Keane has to stay back there in fairness. Furlong needs to come in. Tyke Byrne needs to go around. We're far too slow. And by the time it's picked up, it's too late. Doris is jammed in there, not paying attention, and they create an overlap far too easily. George Ford pops in as an extra playmaker, and now it's a 4-on-2. And then quick hands, and Keane is left isolated so easily. Terrible. Absolutely terrible defence. Better kick this time. Dan Earl takes it. Oh, he doesn't actually drop it twice. You can get away with 2 knock-ons if you're England. Get the ball. A quick England there off the line to shut us down, because we're going out the back door every time rather than just taking it in. Good hands. Good carry. Ran over George Martin. We need the Kiwi to bail us out. So we actually do quite well here. So big hit by Underhill there on Tyke Byrne, but we recycle it well. I feel like John McCarthy just kills our momentum here. So go out here. We've got, look how many England players are here. 1, 2, 3. Very blurry, so I know if I count it wrong, I'm sorry, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. exploit that space. There's loads of space out there that we're not exploiting. And John McCarthy kills our momentum by taking it straight back into traffic. We throw that ball out the back, but it's not on. Now it is definitely on for us to get an overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got an overlap out here. Let's use it. But to be fair, they jam in very well. I will give credit. I feel like John McCarthy just really should chip that one on rather than taking it into contact there. We get shut down very easily. I feel like that's a very soft penalty there. Genge not taking the weight it looked like to be. Ben Kay just said it there. Did Genge hinge at the hips? Genge hinge at the hips. He definitely did. But yeah, Ireland seem to get pinged a lot against England at scrum time, or if there's an English ref. Did you see that? Just direct carrying to get over the game line so much easier. Great steal. Good steal. Poor line out, as we were talking about a lot, was the poor Irish line out. It was actually quite good in the last Six Nations, but unfortunately, a lot of other things let us down. Look at it, just move it across. So let's look at it. Just as soon as the ball's turned over, they just get it wide. That's all they do. Not complicated, very easy stuff. Poor line out, and England just switch into attack. And nobody went up for that as well. Like, so you got to win it. You know what I mean? And Alex Mitchell just looks to get it wide. So look at us. We're not fast off the line like England there. As soon as we got the ball, they were up in our faces, shutting us down. We are passive, letting them run onto us. So we're letting them come at us, dictating both the defence and the attack. We have to make absorbent tackles as opposed to dominating the collision. I remember I was telling you about the stats where Ireland have the least amount of dominant tackles. This is why we're not quick enough. We're not quick enough off the line. See, we're running backwards. We haven't even come up in their face yet to actually shut the space down. And look how far back we've been driven without even laying a hand on them. You know, it's not even that we're missing tackles here; it's that we're not even putting a hand on them, and we're allowing them to just run into our 22 without putting any big hits in at all. They just keep moving it fast. So that's literally off us losing the line out. They've just moved it across sideways, and we haven't been able to shut them down. And it's not good enough. And now they're just going quick. It's very simple what they're doing. One up carry again, truck the ball across to a willing runner, ball carrier. They all want to carry as well. That's the thing. They all are obliging and want to get the ball in their hands, which we don't seem to want to do ourselves. And then look, it's just a literal cutout pass. He throws it across three different lads. That's all he does. George forward takes it, skips these three lads and just hits that man out on the outside. Very simple stuff, not hard, but it's effective when you've got the physicality to do it, and we just don't have it. And he's going to hit that channel in there because we're not quick enough to realign. Very easy, very easy. Good hit though. And now they're in our 22. This is literally just side to side, really. See how effective it is when you just truck it up with one man. So easy to do, but you need the physicality to do it, which Bundee has. Move it now. Let's go. Now we get a chance with a kick tennis. And England want this. They want to be kicking, you know. But take. Now we're all good here. We're all well aligned. Should do all right here. One up carry. Do you see how easy that is? Like that's just the point I'm trying to make. Ben Earl's like, give me the ball. I want it. I want to carry. It's fast. It's one after the other. So like, if you want to carry it, no, okay, I'm fresh. Give me the ball. I want to carry. We get outdone again down this side. Like short numbers down this. And if England were looking up, anyone with a brain is going to go either I'm kicking or I'm attacking this side. Because why would I attack this side? That's where all the Irish fellas are. We need to realign better. Ben Earl breaks the line far too easily. Like, let's look at that again. Like, we're actually well positioned in the fence there. We should not be letting him through. Faye Wabosa breaks through very easily and gets them on the front foot, and then we just let Ben Earl walk through us. So he just straightens it up, carries into these lads, and gives them good field position. We look at that. You've got three defenders around him, all in good positions, and he still breaks through. That's terrible defence. And now they're on the attack. Now they've got all the momentum. One up carry by a forward. Misses him again. So easy. Good tackle by Aki. He wasn't slowing the ball down though. Pathetic. He takes the penalty here to ease it up. Watch our restart. Chase, you gotta go with more speed. Earl takes it. We miss a tackle. See how we're falling back into it as well. Missed the first tackle. O'Mahony has to absorb him. That's not great. It's quite a weak position to be in, but not to worry. It's still fine, but not ideal. Box kick, of course, but all good. Nothing to worry about. Nicely handled. Penalty advantage. There we are. See how they just come off the line. They made us with more strength. Show you again. For all these hands are quite good in this game. You wonder what happened to him in the last few games where he keeps dropping the ball. Yeah, he just needs a confidence booster, that's all. But let's look at who's defending here. Like Dan Cole's here, of course. You want your tight head prop as close to the ruck as possible. You don't want him sprinting around. You've got Atoje, you've got George Martin, Genge, Ollie Lawrence, Ollie Chesham, Ollie. And you've got Jamie George and Ben Earl, the big men. So you want your forwards to be able to get over the gain line, but this is ideal. It's good defensive alignment from England because you'd want your forwards defending in the one-up collisions. It's not a very appealing picture for anyone attacking. But you look how easily Ben Earl broke through against our forwards. Two big forwards waiting to hit him, and they slip off so easily. These guys are all up in their face, waiting to hit. We like throwing the ball wide. We should be doing it here. All these big fellas are all coming up. So let's work it wide. Let's start attacking this side and let Faye with Osar and his money. Don't make any yards, really. Good carry by Van der Fleer, in fairness. Quite a strong carry, and Chesham's holding on to him for dear life. And we get the penalty advantage. Now, this is a great attacking position. You're in the England 22 and you've a line out. And let's see what Ireland can do from it. So we win it. We get them all going. All very good. Nice. Very good tackle by Underhill. And he keeps going though. Not held. See that looping pass though from Gibson-Park. But it's up in the air hanging. It means you're losing your momentum and the defence can rush up and hit you. But still all good. All really good right now. They give away a lot of penalties, England, and I feel like they got away with an awful lot in this year's Six Nations. They're very cynical. You watch that from Ollie Lawrence, he's clearly the tackler, yet he just stands up and takes the ball. I feel like they get away with an awful lot. Look at this. This is very cynical. He falls on him and then just stands up with the ball. Look at him. He's clearly off his feet. He was the tackler. And now he just stands up and plays the ball. I feel like that could have been a bit more. That's cynical. The look of amusement on his face, and you're there kind of going, yes, obviously. I mean, two pieces of illegal play. I feel like that was extremely cynical. So we take our 3 points just to get ourselves within 2 points of England, and wise decision. You're at Twickenham. It's a hostile atmosphere against the home team. You want to just take your points. Wise decision. Let's look how we handle this kick restart. Another example. He hangs it well, but the thing is, you only want to be kicking to Bundee, but Bundee's attacking down the wing, so you kind of shut his space off. And they bundle him into touch. You see, it's good work by Ollie Chesham. The big men doing the job. They're not giving Bundee an awful lot to work with, so the ball's hanging out wide. Like, look at it. Look where Bundee gets it. Doesn't really have an awful lot that he can do with this. It's a good kick by George Ford, to be fair. I always was wondering, like when we were playing as a forward, why kick the ball into this space where a big number 8 that you've identified for the opposition is going to catch the ball and just run it straight back into your little man. You want to be shutting them off. And Aki's a big fella, but you want to be isolating them to this channel here the touchline. And England do this very well, and Chester's a big man. He just bundles Aki into touch. Faye Wabosa chases. There's his own men here, so he can't run straight into them. It's well worked by England. 2 of them here hitting together, and then he's a big fella, but they managed to get him out. Shows Bundee, you might hit him with a dominant tackle, but he's still going to injure you afterwards. He's such a big man. That whooping and hollering by Faye Wabosa is annoying, though, isn't it? It's something England do that I feel like I'm glad Ireland don't redo it. Go get you, go. And I'm like, fuck off. Just something I don't think you get away with in Ireland. Positivity. That's what you wouldn't get away with in Ireland. Good old positivity. There's a stat coming up now I want to just highlight for you. There we are now, and I've been talking about this a lot. So look at it, right? And I was highlighting that in my Guinness Six Nations stats. Tackles made, 39 for England, 36 for Ireland. Tackles missed, only 5 for England, 10 for Ireland. And then dominant tackles, 4 for England, none for Ireland. That tells you all you need to know. They're putting their bodies on the line a lot more than the Irish players are, and it's costing us. That's why we're not winning games as much as we should. We miss more tackles and we make less. We were bottom of the tackles made stat in the Six Nations this year, and it's not good enough. We need to improve on that stat because it's costing us big time. Moving on now to Jamie George. All right, George. He's a real bulldog, isn't he? Real old school hooker bill. Like he seems like a nice guy, Jamie George. I like him. But the real old school, like a potato with 2 picks for legs. Quick though, when he gets going, like he's not got the pace that he once had, but he was deceptively fast and skillful as well. If you weren't going to make Caelan Doris captain, this man would be my captain for the Lions store, not at all. I feel like Jamie George has the respect of everyone, and he's a good leader. So this man would be my captain, if not Caelan Doris. I don't like Adoji as captain. I think he's arrogant. I feel like he brings out the worst in the England team. And I feel like they were lucky not to get pinged a lot more than they did. The fact they only had 1 yellow card, I think, is disgraceful because they were quite cynical in a lot of areas. But I won't fault their effort in defence. So popped it straight to Dan Cole because no one's paying attention. And they're just going to carry it straight up again. Like, look, Jamie George should have been smashed back there, yet he can carry it straight into the 22. There's no momentum with them, and yet we just do not close them down. Now they're going to look to smash. They also have a really good fight in the tackles. So you see the way Ben Earl is pumping the legs. He's not content to just go down. He's fighting for every inch on the ground. And that's getting Ireland going backwards. And now they're just going to hit the ball up every time. know what he's doing. Ford just loves the kick. That's all he really has, isn't it? But some good tip passes on. Not the best fly half in England by a long shot, but had a good game in this one. Really good game. They're hitting that ruck so fast that we haven't got a chance to jackal it. Yeah, like we're receiving the tackle every time as well. Like Underhill, Crowley, and Aki had him there, but he still gets over the game line. That's hit him, you know. That's all right. Pretty good. Smash him. Be waiting around. We got done there. Got done because it was they said it was still in. Ball wasn't out. We went for it, so we were never back behind the hindmost foot. Well done, Ty Burr. He always comes up with those moments. Now clear our lines. James Lowe again. See that clearance though. Ty Burn does a great job. Jackals that ball on the ground brilliantly, like he always does. Why is James Lowe the one kicking that? He shouldn't be. He's got a great left boot, yeah, but he shouldn't be clearing that one. The angle's way too tight. Just look at that again. Brilliant awareness by Ty Byrne. You see him here. Ball pops out and Ty Byrne is in there. Good awareness by Dan Shane to make that tackle. Ball's out. Brilliant. Really good. Now, is that Jack Crowley? It is. He should be dropping back in there. Right footed clearance. Get the ball off the field. There he is. You know, place it back to him. He boots the fuck out of it and it's off the field. He's even there. He should be dropping back into that pocket. But they go with James Lowe instead. And look at the angle. It's just so tight. Like, how much distance can he really get on that? England are flying through, putting the pressure on. He can't get any distance on it. It's even touched. So all these players are on side, and yet they can't make up the ground because he's just not giving them anything to work with. Jack Crowley should drop in there, and he has much more angle. He can wrap his right foot around it, and he can get it all the way out there. James Lowe is narrowed to just this angle here. If he gets it off the field, he he probably isn't even putting the pass to 22, to be honest. He's no angle to work with. As a result, he has to keep the ball on the field. George Fairbank, Emmanuel Feiwabosa, and Tommy Freeman can all run hard back at you. They're fast. They're also physical wingers, and the fullback, of course, and Fairbank. We're giving them every opportunity. What England are poor at is creativity in the middle. It's just one-up carries, which Ireland have coped with very well. They've kept them out. Their goal line defence has been really good. Ty Burr getting a great turnover. And the only try has come from us kicking loosely. We've actually held them out because it's a tip-on pass. It's one pass up. Mitchell's whipping it across. It's not complicated. Yes, we're missing a few tackles, but we're still able to cope with it. But a poor kick here from James Lowe and watch what happens. The pressure is being applied by England very well. You know, big, tall men. Do you ever notice why, like Dan Sheehan's always the one charging down box kicks for Ireland? He's a short fella. Like, he's not short, but why don't we have a big second row like Joe McCarthy, James Ryan, or Ty Byrne coming through and charging it down? Every other team has a big man coming to charge it down with big, long, gangly arms. I don't get it. George Fairbank is taking this back at pace, so it's going to be very hard to stop him. which it is, and he runs it straight back into our 22, and the pressure is still on. Good tackle, in fairness, by Van der Fleer. Just going from side to side. That's all they're doing. It's just one up, you know. If it's not off Alex Mitchell, it's off George Ford. Just simply give it to me. He's tipping it onto a forward, not complicated. And then sometimes they've three players, like so three lads, and he skips it across past them. It's not very inventive, it's not very creative, and we seem to be coping all right with it. But then, yeah, and the commentators there, just Ben Kay said it. He was like George Martin was stationary and still got over the gain line. We should be fucking smashing him back. We don't make the dominant hits, you see, and that's the problem. That's a good hit. That's what we're talking about. Yes, and it's on Genge too. Do you see how simple that is, though? Like, look how easily we get undone, and that's my big point. Carries across, and then just tipping it on. Ollie Lawrence chips it in behind, and we're completely undone. Yeah, now as it happens, it was a knock on, but just pause that there for a sec. So yeah, get a scrum here. There was a knock on, so we're all right. But it's just poor position, you know. I wouldn't really blame Frawley for coming up. He's a winger, you know, and kind of shot up out of the line. But just yeah, just even looking back at that here now, we just have a look. They called it a speculative nudge through. That's all it was, really. Oh yeah, I want to just highlight that actually. So watch this. Tyke Furlong goes down here from this clear out. All right. So Tyke Furlong goes down here and copped a lot of abuse from people saying he was diving. Now Genge is a clear line of sight too. Let's roll on. Let's look at it again. Let's freeze at the point of impact. Now Genge is flying in at speed. There's only one place he can hit Furlong's big mallet head. You know, it's right there. And people were saying that Furlong dived and milked it. What about Ben Curry diving? What about Itoje diving? How about that? People are very quick to call Furlong out for this. Unless Genge miraculously manages to drop his height here, he's tucked his arm, he's led with a shoulder, and that's Furlong's head poking out there. There we are. Go back into it. You can see it right there. There's Genge's arm. There's Furlong's head, but he dived apparently in that. It's an elbow to the head. So people were saying that Furlong dived. That's an elbow. That's a head. And he's coming at speed. We roll on. Does he milk it a little? Maybe. Yeah, but come on. There was clear head contact there, and it wasn't even checked by this man or this man. You know, look one more time. Yeah, you can see it here. He comes in. Yeah, okay, maybe he milks it a little, but still, like, it's head contact. Not checked, so he wasn't diving. People were quick to call O'Mahony out when he got cleared out by Thibaut Flamon as well. Just want to point that out as well. Bit of consistency wouldn't go amiss. Now we've got this dealt with, right? We're comfortable. Should be comfortable anyway. And then they come back. Good hit. So we're in a good position here, but the ball comes out, goes back, and a simple chip kick in. And Frawley is caught in no man's land, and England are all running onto it with momentum. And there's three of them belting onto it. It's just too easy to undo our defence, that's all I'm saying, you know? So that gets disallowed anyway. So now clear our lines. See, Ollie Chesham's about 6'7". He's coming through to apply the kick pressure. That's the man you want. You don't want Dan Sheehan. As good as he is, he's not tall enough to cause any real issues. He's about 6'2". Chesham's a big man applying pressure to Gibson-Park. That's how you want charging the box kicks down. Now, see that? Good box kick there by Gibson-Park. Finds a touch and we clear our lines well. One up again. We deal with it well. That's good tackling. Wrap them up well. Again, really good defence. See how low comes up. That's how we should be defending, right? So I know it might be sometimes a bit too harsh on Ireland, but we do well here, in fairness to us. That's how you want to defend. Earl carries up, thinking he's getting free rein. And we come up hard. Two men hitting him. He's a strong ball carrier, so two men hitting him, I'd have no issue with that. Wrap him up and slow him down. See? Caelan Doris, Bundee, he can't get the offload away. Really good tackle. And then look as well what can happen. Doris is able to get back on his feet. Aki as well. So we've got more defenders on our feet. Really good technique. And I try and coach the lads that I'm coaching how to do that. We'll get there eventually. But John Mitchell was really good at doing that with England actually against Ireland. So it's basically the idea of having 15 men on your feet. So actually, I want to just highlight that. So the way that you might think to yourself, we're losing two defenders. No, look how this works. Not only do you stop Ben Earl getting any momentum, you stop the offload, and then both defenders can get back on their feet. Textbook stuff, really well done, in fairness. Wish we just do it more often, though. So see, there's Doris, there's Aki. Why they end up making the tackle, I don't know, but because the two of them look disjointed, but they do. Yeah. So Earl comes through that gap and they wrap him up well. See that? So there's two of them there. Doris going low, Bundee going high, and wrapping up the ball, most importantly. And then Doris could stand back up. And so can, well, Bundee's taking out them. So you've got three men for England committed to that ruck, and only Bundee. Because he's a jackal threat now as well. Meaning that we've got more men on our feet to defend. So we're always a man up in defence at least, if not two. And Bundee's back up to his feet, really well defended. And then we make another good hit there on Henry Slade. Because Lowe applies really good pressure here on the outside. So if that pass is thrown, Lowe's got the intercept. See? So he's coming up here. He's cutting off that pass for Faye Wabosa and Fairbank. And then Henshaw comes in and jams in straight away on Slade. Really well done. And he wraps up the ball. So good defending again. And then Van der Fleer, you can get the maul, you can turn the ball over and hold them up. But what we're doing really well is we're slowing England's momentum. And we've got them all. Ball stuck in there, it's not coming out. Well done. That's an example of very good defending. 2 tackles, that's it. That's all we've done. 2 men in both of them, and we get the turnover. Really well done. Now the scrum. But Dan Cole's leg, just, Jesus, that's a mad position, isn't it? Like, how Porter is supposed to drive straight there, I don't know. He gets pinged an awful lot for not driving straight, but look at Dan Cole. That's an Ireland dominant scrum. Nice. That's good. That's pretty good. That's what I want to see us do. We can see a sloppy penalty here, but look, that's clear dominance. Look at that. Brilliant strength. Really good strength by Porter there. Brilliant. Early on the lifter. Don't get that one now, I have to say. Didn't see that. Early on the lifter, apparently. One up carry again. So we just rewind that a little bit. Line out here for England. Didn't look straight. But look, they just hit one man up. They're hitting Ollie Lawrence in midfield. He gets them over the game line. Good tackles, but then they just keep coming at us. Yeah, well done. We turn it over. How we lost that, I don't know. They're just coming right in the side there. They don't get pinged for that an awful lot, you know. George Ford misses a penalty kick. You look at carries there. Yeah, more carries. 16 more carries. 10 more game line successes and more meters made, and that's the whole area we lose the power game. Not enough big collision wins, you know what I mean? So they're carrying more than we are to getting over the game line more, and they're making more meters. It's very hard to win a game if you're not winning the game line meters, you know. Very poor miss by George Ford here, I'd say. Good take by Frawley. Take it up again. They're just falling around the side. Clear our lines. Not getting it off though. Calls the mark well. Giving them a lot of lineouts though, which I don't like. from a line out here, you'll see them, just the way they attack off the line out in midfield is simple but effective. Very effective. We deal with that well, very well. Box kick. They don't win the gain line battle, they box kick. That's pretty much what England do. So we're in an alright position here. And you see that, so England don't get over the gain line, off the line out. So what do? They go, okay, we haven't won that initial gain line. We're going to kick it, make you make a mistake. It's a very negative style of play, but it's effective. So basically, it's like, okay, we haven't gotten over the gain line, so we're going to let you decide what you want to do with it. We're going to make you make a mistake, giving us the ball back. So if you kick it high and Ireland knock it on, we get a scrum. We got a big enough scrum, powerful enough. Or we can do, and England are very good at this and I was only watching a video from Tim from Egg Chasers. They have an unbelievable amount of good open side flankers, and it's gas because back in the Eddie Jones era, 2016, they no good open side flankers. There was even a joke with James Haskell and Chris Robshaw. They were 6.5s, so it's a rugger juke. But what it means is two blind side flankers basically operating as sevens, like open sides. But now England have an abundance of them, and Sam Underhill right here, and then you got Ben Earl, two jackal threats, so they go over the ball, and then Atoje is as well. So they'll just compete for the ball on the ground. If they make their hit and we don't knock the ball on, then they'll go for the jackal and get a penalty. So it's a negative style, but it's very effective. We're going to box kick now as well. Ollie Chesham going through. See, you got to, when you're chased, good tackle. See, two-man tackle, be driving back. He's fast out far back, isn't he? So that's where you got to wrap him up, but that's a good dominant tackle. Nice. Good pressure on forward. Yeah, he got over it. Well done, Bundee. Really good. See how good that is. So we're up on a hard line. Really good here. Ball goes to Chesham, who thinks he's going to get over the gain line. And look, really good here. Henshaw absorbs it. Aki lets go and then goes for the ball. Two-man tackle. Both are going high here technically, but what happens is they can let go. So if you go high and I go low, you can then go for the jackal because you hold them up high, throw them to the ground, let your hands off, and then go for the ball immediately. Show the ref, hands off the ball, and now I can jackal. That's exactly what Aki does here. Brilliant technique, brilliant position. Henshaw leaves it because Chesham is on the ground. Poor body position by Chesham. Legs are long. He should be tucking them in, getting that 6 o'clock post position. We win. Very good. And then we get the lead. And there's a good point there by Ben Kay, taking our points, keeping the scoreboard, taking very clever. Because you're in a dogfight. England are going to look to take you on physically, so that's pretty good. I'm impressed with that. How we handle the restart now. Bundee's taking all of them. Done all right. We're going to look to clear our lines. One carry. But look again, James Lowe, narrowing that angle again. So look, got a distance enough. Got a good distance on that. Distant enough. What does that even mean? I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. But let's look at that now. So that was a pretty good That was a really good kick, though, I have to say. So, yeah, just get in a good position, play it on. Ball gets thrown, then open up the space, which is a good idea, yeah. See where we are now. Giving him more of an angle to work with as well, so that's good. So now look where he is. So, like, I was always saying, you're narrowing his angle, but he's next to the goalposts. He's not out here with no angle to work with. He's got all that space to aim for. So if you're going to open up the space for him, fair enough. And he's got a really good boot on him. He does get a good distance and the ball's off the field. That's what we want. So he's got much more angle to work with and he uses it very well. That's a good kick. That's where you got to get it off, you know. They get a line out here. Not straight. I didn't think that. Well, we didn't put anyone up, so we sorted them all out pretty well, in fairness. They try and go up straight again. Very predictable. Not gone. So see, we have them. You know, we had them sorted here. They're not. They don't do anything really complicated. Scrum here, pretty good scrum. Solid, absolutely solid. Really good. Big boot low. Ooh, good kick. Very good. Now that was a brilliant kick. Kept it in and Fairbank stepped out. We've got a great attacking position here. Now we've got a great attacking position here. What can we do from it? Great position again. We're in the lead just before half time. Great. And Gordon Darcy said it there. They absolutely need to do something here. Like, look at the scoreboard. We're ahead by a point in Twickenham, and there's only a minute and 15 left. Rash it up with Aki, and let's go from there. And we shall see what we do with it. So just bring it here again. Good throw. We win the ball. Crash it up. So that's simple. We're playing it simple now. Get over the. That channel is very hard to defend, FYI. So if you're running onto it with momentum as an attacking player, it's easy to make good yards if you're just running a hard line. You know, because the lads have to try and get you down. They don't know who's coming onto the ball. You come onto it with pace, which I got to do last week, which is very fun, I must say. It's very hard to stop someone, especially as big and powerful as Bundee, because you're getting all the momentum. It's a great place to launch an attack, which is why Ireland need a good lineup to do that, because we do launch an awful lot of our moves off the lineup, which is why we need the lineup to be functioning very well, which, to be fair, it was in the Six Nations. For all the negatives, that was a big positive. So we get quick ball. Good carry by Shane. Gibson-Park, good speed, good tip on. Offside by England. England are offside. We're on the attack, right in front of the posts. We're in a great position, you know, couldn't be a better place. Only a minute left, so either way, we're getting a certain 3 points. Pretty good, you would say, yeah. Oh, and the England are going down injured. George Martin thinking he's the big man, but we get the penalty, big boy. There we go. 12. So just look where we are. Having survived a massive storm, we're 12-8 up at half time. We're actually